material given to me as a minister, I have culled out some documents, and from that I will read only one, which was actually given as an affidavit to the Khosla Commission. And Khosla Commission thoroughly cross-examined him. And couldn't break him down. And ultimately he put it in the secret component of his report, and there was no reference to him in the main report. The evidence of Shri Jain of Meerut, and he gave this evidence on 31st/12/1970, and he describes, and I've given this document to your people. I'm sure they'll put it on scan and then give it to whoever wants it, or put it in Twitter. It's a quite bulky testimony, but I've extracted some pages. It's about a 100-page testimony, but I've extracted maybe 20 pages. And he says this, that first they asked him, who are you? He said, well, in 1937 there were elections and I worked for the Congress Party. So he was a member of the Congress Party. Then he goes on to say, then the chairman, that is Justice Khosla, asked him, did you take part in what was your next contact in this matter connected with Subhas Chandra Bose? So he says, did you take, so the question he asks is, did you take part in the INA trials? So Shamlal Jain replies, yes sir. The INA Defence Committee was formed by the Congress under heavy public pressure, not because of the love for Netaji or appreciation for his work, but under heavy public pressure. Jawaharlal Nehru knew me as he had seen me working in the Congress Party office and my capability in typing letters. Jawaharlal has seen my working as a typist with the Congress Party, so Jawaharlal knew me and he called me through his messenger. So the chairman says, where did he call you? He called me to his office, to the office of the INA Defence Committee, which is number 82, Daryaganj office of the INA Defence Committee. What did he say to you? He said, Shamlal ji, you are a patriot, I know it, and you please bring your typewriter with you as well when you come. You have to do work of Netaji here. Thereupon I went to Meerut, brought my typewriter and started working in the INA Defence Committee office. I served in the Defence Committee for 2 months and 6 days, and I got certificates to prove it. The convener of this committee was Mr. Asaf Ali, the convener and standing counsel of the Defence Committee. Then he goes on asking some more details, and he says, you tell us what you know about Netaji. So he says, one day, the date may be 26th or 27th of December of 1945. That is, 18th December, Netaji is supposed to have died, and this is after that, on 26th or 27th of December of 1945, I was called by Jawaharlal Nehru on the phone to go to the residence of Mr. Asaf Ali immediately with a typewriter and carbon papers and white sheets of paper. At that time I was taking food, so I requested him to allow me to take your food. But and therefore after my food I went there. What were you asked to type out? At that time Jawaharlal Nehru and Asaf Ali were both sitting. Now this is after dinner, which means late night. I don't know what the urgency was, but you will know very soon. At that time, Jawaharlal Nehru and Asaf Ali were both sitting opposite to each other on the same table. There was a bottle of whiskey on the table. That's a good way to celebrate independence. And both were enjoying sipping it. Straight from the bottle, the chairman asked. No, by pouring it down in pegs and then sipping. They were also smoking cigarettes all the while. I thought he was a Gandhian, but I was wrong. Jawaharlal ji said that he had lots of work to be typed by me. I sat down. He gave me some work to type. After I could type for about half an hour or so, Jawaharlal Nehru drew out a paper from his inner pocket of his achkan and asked me to make 4 copies of the same. Giving me the paper, he said, type it out at once in a loud voice. I accordingly typed it out. That letter appeared to be most sensational. What was the letter? The chairman asked. So he replies, yes, he gave me that letter to type. It was a letter written in pen on a piece of paper which appeared to me to have been taken from a copy book hurriedly. The writing was somewhat difficult to read. Now, sir, after giving me that paper to type, Jawaharlal Nehru was called into the other room by Asaf Ali. I just wanted to show him some points. Chairman says, he took out this paper, he went out of the room? Yes, he just was called inside, etc. Then witness says, yes, I typed it and this was what the letter contained. Netaji Subhas Bose started from Saigon by aeroplane. He arrived in Dharain, Manchuria at 1:30 in the afternoon. Thereafter he took tea with bananas. There was also a motor jeep standing nearby. The said aeroplane from which Netaji alighted was a Japanese bomber plane which could accommodate only a few people. Besides the pilot, the question is, yes. He said the plane was full of gold in the shape of ornaments and jewelry and bars. In the form of what? He says ornaments, jewelry, bars. Netaji carried 2 attache cases, one which is full of precious stones. In the meantime, he said gold was unloaded from the plane and loaded into the motor jeep, that is in Dharain. When Netaji finished tea, he took his seat in the said motor jeep and 4 persons also took their seats in the same motor jeep. Names of those 4 persons were known to me at that time, but due to lapse of memory and a flux of time, I could remember the name of only one person, and his name was General Shri, whom you had mentioned. Chairman said, Chairman, the others were Japanese names or Indian names? No, sir, they were Indians. All 3 were Indians. One was a Muslim, the other 2 may be Sikh or Hindus, because both had Singh in their name, so it could be either. This is all because this is the note that Jawaharlal Nehru wanted typed. Thereafter, the motor jeep proceeded to the Russian territory and after 2 or 3 hours, the said motor jeep returned to the same place at the airport and the pilot of the plane was informed that he had made Netaji enter Russian territory. So then chairman says, who gave the information? Did the paper say this? No, one of those persons who had taken Netaji returned with the jeep and thereafter the plane flew to Tokyo. That is all that I know. This paper you typed out 4 copies. Witness, yes. In the meantime, Jawaharlal Nehru was busy in conversation with Asaf Ali. The conversation lasted about 10-15 minutes. I was waiting for Jawaharlal Nehru to come out and type the name of the writer of the letter, without which the letter was incomplete. The paper was hanging in the typewriter. The date in the said letter was 23rd August 1945. That is, the paper that was given to him was dated 23rd August 1945. So Netaji would have been just around that time, 21st, 22nd, 23rd in Russia. Did you learn the name of the writer? Witness. I inquired of Jawaharlal Ji the name of the writer, but he too could not discern the name from reading the paper. Chairman, you mean say that this could not be read? Witness says, yes, it could not be read. He asked me to write the word illegible. Illegible. So I wrote illegible on it. Okay, then he goes on to say, Chairman, yes, Mr. Jain, you can continue your story. We have got, we have got to the point that we could not read the name of the writer and the paper taken out of the machine and handed over to you. Witness then says, it's handed over to Shri Jawaharlal Nehru. Chairman says, yes. Thereafter, the witness says, thereafter, my lord, Jawaharlal ji drew out 4 papers from his writing pad, in the left-hand top corner of which was printed Jawaharlal Nehru, etc., etc. So then the witness goes on to say, thereafter he began to dictate me a letter, the contents of which, then the chairman interrupts him. He was reading from that letter. He said, no, he was dictating something on the typewriter, something to me to type on the typewriter. Chairman says, those 4 sheets were blank sheets? Yes, blank sheets, and I inserted the carbons and put them on the typewriter, and thereafter, then the chairman interrupts, 4 copies? He said, the witness says, yes, he wanted 4 copies. Yes. Then the witness says, then Jawaharlal Nehru began to dictate. First thing he dictated was Clement Attlee Esquire, Prime Minister of Great Britain, 10 Downing Street, London. Dear Mr. Attlee, I understand from most reliable source that Subhas Chandra Bose, your war criminal, has been allowed by Stalin to enter the Russian territory, which action of his is a clear treachery and betrayal of faith, as when Russia was an ally of the British and the Americans, Stalin should not have done so. This is just for your information and to be taken notice of. That is a very polite way of saying. Generals won't speak in that language, but diplomats would, or sinister people will, then you know what you have to do. Such was the letter. Now, Your Lordship, the witness tells the chairman, the contents of this letter that was but typed by me on dictation from Jawaharlal Nehru, I am mentioning from my memory, which is what I remember to the present day. Those were not the actual words that I could be sure of, but this is the main purport of that letter. One thing more I would like to mention is that after I finished the typing job, Jawaharlal Nehru and Asaf Ali used to see that the carbon papers used by me in their letters were got burnt in the Angethi. And that Angethi means, it's a chula type thing. And there, these copies were burnt. Now then, you will get the chance to read it. The chairman drills him, asks him several cross questions, etc. But he says, I continue to write to Jawaharlal Nehru even after 1947, that you know very well that Subhash Bose was alive. He didn't die in the crash. You must take it up. When Shah Nawaz committee was not a commission, it was a committee appointed by Jawaharlal Nehru for a special purpose, namely to say that the man died Bose died in Taiwan in a plane crash. He wrote that time too, and he also objected that Shah Nawaz was never Major General, he was some Lieutenant Colonel or something. All these things, cross-questioning going on, you can read it for your thing. But the important thing is, which I have verified from Britain, that there does exist letters from Jawaharlal Nehru to the British government during that entire 5 years, 1945 to 50, regarding Subhash Chandra Bose. This was in a file which, when Chandrasekhar sent me the list and said, which do you want to see? I had asked for one which I enclosed in my documents that I'm giving here, and that is something that you will see and you will be amazed. And there is also attached to the cabinet note which was prepared on after my investigation whether we should get the ashes back or not. Of course, we decided not to get it back. And one of them was
compelling reason for BJP spokespersons as well as other people to be on these Arnab Goswami kind of shows, but they're not allowed to speak. Why not just boycott these and refuse to go there? Is there a compelling reason for them to be there and take
No, you can say, you may say that you should send more aggressive spokesmen.
Exactly.
But the thing is that we also have large number of people. Why don't our people come and defend our position in these channels, even if they are against us? So you have two opinions. It's not your opinion is one opinion. There is another opinion that says that we should go to these shows and express our opinion. But you may be right in the sense that we may sometimes become very defensive. But I think it should be more aggressive. You need not be as aggressive as I was to conduct this process.
Sir, one question.
But I think we have to give them a dose back.
Sir, one question.
Please, one at a time, please. One at a time.
We will select.
Sir,
One second, sir.
Yeah, you please.
Why, even after BJP coming to full power, why aren't we really treating the so-called family with an iron fist?
I am treating them with an iron fist. You want the whole government to treat them with an iron fist? Then they will say, oh, persecution, the government has no other work. Look, there was a criticism in the Janta period that we were only talking about Indira Gandhi and doing nothing else, which is not true, but that was a propaganda. I am enough for this family.
I went the last question. No, it's already saying while taking.
Yes, I am. I am 100% certain. Otherwise, I will go. 23rd, yes, 2016.
So that will give a good boost to Bengal or not? In your
Bengal election.
Bengal, West Bengal.
Bengal election we are winning anyway, so why will we
I think why no question to Bakshi sir, I don't know.
Sir, Bakshi sir, what we are doing.
Secretary sir, please.
Do you agree with that?
Not just Kayappa, Lord Louis Mountbatten. Husband of Edwina Mountbatten.
So instead of crying horse about all these channels, Goswami kind of channels, why don't we have our own?
What do you mean by Goswami kind of service? I don't understand.
Now, you see, I have found that our own channels in the media, print media, our people don't read it. Take Organizer, Panjanya, Pioneer, they are all suffering for lack of money. I myself started a channel after the NRIs all, when I went on tour, saying, no, we must have our own channel, we support it. And I started a channel, I got a permit from the government, and the previous government I got a permit, and I started some channel called in Chennai called Krishna TV. And not a single pie came from anybody. So our people give free advice, they don't follow it up. So I am telling you today, collect for me 20 crore rupees and hand it to me in a check, and tomorrow I will start a channel.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I think time up. Now, please to understand, we started at 11. There's a lot of people who have got other things to attend. Then yours is the last question, and please cooperate with it. No more questions, right?
Sir, religious conversion, stopping religious conversion.
They both were here in Bangalore. So they came up regarding the Mr. Bose disappearance case, that regarding that Gumnami Baba thing. And now we are coming up with this concept of torture and murder of Bose by Stalin in Siberia. This was well known to the Sangha people, and everywhere we are aware of this thing. Now these two concepts, like, which is the exact mystery?
I will tell you my opinion. I don't know whether the Dal is still sticking to that Gumnami Baba business. That Gumnami Baba was a Jawaharlal Nehru plant through the intelligence bureau of a man called, at that time was called Malik. BC Malik or some Malik. B.N. Malik. He was the one who created this, so that people don't keep asking this question, where is Subhash Bose, where is Subhash Bose? They said he is there, he doesn't want to come into active political life, and please leave him be. That was the game plan. There is no truth in it. This is from the files I am telling you, and this is confirmed to me by the Russians, whom I know, and it has been confirmed to me by the British, whom I know, those friends of mine whom I know, and therefore this will be finally settled on 23rd January. After that you can ask.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Just let me add to that. Mukherjee Commission, page 120, 121. 19th of Gumnami Baba was subjected to DNA analysis, matched with the father side, mother side of the both families. They do not match.
So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. And this debate will go on. And